David Heurtel with you. Elias is off. And the DPJ, Youth Protection Services, has seen the number of cases received has gone down drastically since the start of the teacher strikes. However, many experts believe that this is not a good thing. Between the middle of March and the end of May 2019, 32% of cases signaled to the organization were done by teachers. Joining us to discuss more is Lesley Hill, former commissioner of the Special Commission on the Rights of the Child and Youth Protection. Lesley, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Having me.
So, startling report in La Presse yesterday about these number of cases or complaints, or in French they call them signalements to youth protection. So it seems that teachers play a crucial role in identifying abuse of children.
Well, they absolutely do. I think for some children, school is a real safety net because they're with adults who are significant to them all week long, every day. So if those children aren't doing well, teachers are about the first who are going to see that. So school is extremely important for protecting these children.
And we had seen the same type of numbers and same types of conclusions from the pandemic, didn't we?
Absolutely. The pandemic, it was a lot longer period, so we really saw that decrease. I haven't seen the data specifically from this last month, but I'd say it's not a surprising phenomenon because of what you said in the beginning. Teachers represent about a third, or I should say the school system represents about a third of the total reports in youth protection.
I mean, when we are in this type of situation where there's a strike, kids aren't going to school, what would be the other ways? I mean, how can we protect our children if they're not in school? I mean, how as a society can we do more?
I think that's a good question, and I think it makes us reflect on our role and our responsibility. I mean, every citizen has a responsibility for children living in the community. So I think systems, as neighbors, we just have to really be very aware that for some children it's like prolonged vacation, but for other children, this kind of interruption in their school year can be a lot more complex and difficult and potentially really a risk for them. Kids who are experiencing maltreatment in their home, period when it's extreme, when they're having financial struggles, when they're wondering even what to do with their kids because they're home all week, that kind of stress and that kind of family situation bring abuse or more recurring abuse, or certainly more risk. We can say that. So I think we have to all watch and be very sensitive.
I'm sorry, Lesley, the connection's not very good. I'm not hearing you very well. Are you moving around, or can you move to a place where you think the connection might be better?
I'm very sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Try. Are you hearing better?
Yes. Very clear now. Thank you.
Okay, I won't move.
No. Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
No, don't worry about it. It's part of our regular environment. Don't worry about it. So Lesley, I want to move on this particular aspect of it. We've been talking a lot about teachers and what they have to deal with and class conditions, but I get the sense that this is another example of something you don't necessarily expect that teachers have to look out for when they're teaching, but it seems to be part of their job.
I really have a lot of empathy for teachers because I think they're doing a wonderful job in very, very difficult conditions. When you look at the global situation, and it's not just child welfare, it's children with learning disabilities, difficulties of all kinds. they have definitely gone up, this population in the last years, and teachers just don't have all the supports they need to be able to deal adequately and effectively and respond to the needs. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And so what I found very interesting is, of course, your role as a commissioner for the Special Commission on the Rights of the Child and Youth Protection. This was the big commission that was set up in the aftermath of that horrible tragedy that child in Granby had to go through. That was chaired by Régine Laurent. You came out with a very detailed report with several recommendations. I can't help but asking you, how do you feel about the way the government has reacted to these recommendations? Because now we're several years into the tabling of this report.
Well, I would say things always take longer than we'd like them to, because it's a dramatic situation in Quebec right now in child welfare. And at the same time, I could never say that the government hasn't been proactive, because there is a plan in place. There's 3 phases. They've decided to try and attack the recommendations quite globally and try and put things in place. So I'm not completely, or I'm not, thinking that the government has tabletté, I don't know how to say that, but shoved it on a shelf.
Yeah, shelved it, yeah.
At the same time, there's certain things that really need to be addressed, and I would say that in general, youth protection isn't doing as well now as it was in 2015, and that's partly because of the reforms, and not just because the government doesn't want to act on the recommendations. So
what would you prioritize? If you had a magic wand, what would you tackle first, second, and third?
Well, I'm really thrilled, and my colleagues are as well, at Bill 37 that's just been tabled for the Children's Commissioner. We really believe that we need a Children's Commissioner. That's for the well-being and the rights of children in Quebec. We see this role in other provinces. In Quebec, we've never put it in place. So to us, it's really thrilling that this is coming.
Okay. And what else? What would the Children's Commissioner be able to do or change that is not being done now?
In child welfare or in general?
Child welfare.
Well, child welfare, I would say one of the biggest issues right now is the exodus of workers. Mm-hmm. It's a very specialized field, and it takes many years to train people to really be responsive to needs, because they're working within a legal framework that's very specialized and specific. And right now, and it's really the reform that has done this in 2015, so the Barrette reform, and I don't see the new reform correcting this problem. Mm-hmm. It's creating major mobility, and even the government, when he comes out to Ministre Dubé, he speaks about creating mobility, flexibility, Monsieur Le. But in social services in general, mobility, because we need people stable to take care of very complex situations within which the child or the family has to create a relationship to be able to advance and better their lives. So I would say the staff issue is the biggest issue right now in the network, and it's quite a difficult context, I would say, that people are working in right now, and it's hard for the kids and families too. Mm-hmm.
And going back to the child commissioner, I just wanted you to specify, I mean, how do you think a child commissioner, and I have a few seconds left, but in a few sentences, how would the child commissioner make things better?
Well, the commissioner is going to be a voice for children in the province, and is going to put out a report every year and tell us how are children doing in our province.
I see.
Not just children in child welfare, but all children. How are they doing in the education system, even before they get to school? Are we doing the right things to make sure that our kids are happy and well and developing properly? Maybe look at all these issues coming out about mental health of kids, maybe the screen time that they're, there's so many things that can be done for children. So a major voice for children going forward.
Let's hope things get better quickly. Lesley Hill, I really appreciate your time, and I wish you all the best for the holidays.
Very much. Happy to you.
Okay, the interview had to end because we were losing the connection again. A little trouble there, but really appreciate having Lesley Hill, former commissioner of the Special Commission on the Rights of the Child and Youth Protection.